So I have no idea why I'm having like a lot of trouble with the connection right now. Um, I'm going to try to keep sculpting right now. Um, the idea of this sculpture is actually doing like a character between Jose and I. We have actually divided the character into several parts: the head, the torso, the arms, legs. Um, we actually already have this model done, and for this stream, the idea is to have at least the legs. Well, I don't think I'm going to do actually the legs. I'm going to do some type of like a body of a caterpillar or something like that. Um, I really hope we're not having a lot of trouble with the connection. Otherwise, I'm going to finish the stream like pretty soon. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to advance that much. But well, I'll give it a shot. It's super weird that I'm having a lot of issues right now. So I'm going to stick to the idea of having the body be like some type of slug, like a Zerg, but with with a sci-fi armor. I also want to change the shape of the head a little bit, because I want to do a different type of armor that covers this part of the back and also part of the head, like a helmet mixed with an armor. So it's going to be like an exosuit. I think I deleted the eyes. I don't know why. How? And the idea for this part is to have maybe like an oxygen tank, something that right here, maybe some type of breathing thing. Maybe I'm going to add some type of cables and some type of hard surface stuff. For right now, I'm going to stick with the helmet thing. It's just an idea. It's not complete. I'm not completely certain if I'm going to stick with it. Oops. Well, I'm going to try to do Dynamesh with it, but with a lower resolution. Like this. Actually, right now it looks like a hood. Yeah, I think I'm liking this idea. I want to play a little bit more with the shapes. Maybe something that looks a little bit more like something out of Alien. You know, with the long head of the queen. Now I want to stick with the round one. But this actually gave me a lot of ideas to change inside the head. And yeah, I think I'm liking this. You can actually add some little legs right here. You know, like this, the ones that um, little caterpillar have. I mean, to start to define more the body, so it doesn't look just like a blob of clay. Want to keep this part that Jose already sculpted, so I don't want to cover this part with this tail. I'm not sure if it's, yeah, I guess it's a tail. And the waist is really thin, but that's one of the things Jose did, so I'm going to leave it right now like it is. I'm going for the little legs. I'm going to copy a little bit of what Jose already did with the arm. Oops. So I hope it's not really laggy right now. If it's still laggy, please let me know, because I need to fix that. And I have no idea where is it. Yeah, I think I'm going to modify the head. I'm not, I'm not going to change that much. I mean, the idea behind the head is going to be the same, but some of the main shapes are going to be a little bit different. Especially because it looked a little bit boring. It was just like a sphere. So I want to have some different forms right there. It's going to be more interesting to have this type of shape. Although it already look a little bit more like a Zerg. I don't mind that. Especially since the design is already super cool with the Zergs. So I'm going to take some of the ideas behind the design. So thanks a lot for the idea of the body, it was super helpful. Oh, I was actually with the mic off. Well, I've been having a lot of issues right now with the connection, and now this. Tenía el micrófono apagado. Yeah, I'm sorry, I had the mic off. I was speaking by myself. So I was saying that um, this already looks like an insect, so I'm changing a little bit the design to look a little bit more aggressive. The idea that you guys gave me to work into design to be a little bit more like the Zerg, it's something I actually digging. So that's what I'm actually doing right now, especially since I don't have to do the legs. This part of doing just like the insect tail. It's something I wasn't planning for, so thank you. Hey Logus, yeah. Fail. And I have no idea when I actually muted the microphone, so I have no idea how much time I was speaking to myself. I've been modeling in ZBrush I think by now it's like 6 years. Give or take. I mean, I'm not certain 100%, but I do believe it's like 6 years. So this part is actually going to be organic. At the beginning, I was thinking in doing like a helmet, like some type of hard surface stuff. But since it's like an insect mixed with a dragon, I believe that this part looks better as an organic. I don't know, like part of the neck, like some type of shell over the neck. I mean, I'm keeping the hard surface stuff from the chest, that's for sure. But at least for this, I wanted to do something with a lot of silhouette. Since the other design was a little bit boring, I always prefer to have like a more interesting silhouette than the design I had earlier that was just like a sphere. And I think I'm going to do the beaks, the eyes bigger, and keeping the insectoid eyes, but I'm going to do them bigger. Cause I think um, earlier was a little bit harder to see them. It's really fun to work already in something I sculpted before and changing it. I wanted to have some type of eyes like a spider, maybe something really aggressive. I think it's working better than before. But what I'm going to do is add some color to the eyes to see if they're working right now. So I think that it's working. Looks more aggressive. Um, hey, well, to be honest, like I said, it's not really that hard. I mean, if you already draw, if you're already able to draw, it's easier. That's for sure. It's not necessary to be able to draw, but it actually helps. And I don't know if you already use any type of 3D package before, like see Maya or 3ds Max. Coming from that type of software into ZBrush, it's a little bit harder since they're way too different. So it's a little hard to do the switch between Maya or Max and ZBrush. But starting, I believe it's really easy to get into ZBrush. I I mean, I feel it's really intuitive, the user interface. So for me, it's one of the easiest softwares to learn, especially because it's like designed for artists. So it's not like a software like, for example, 3ds Max, which is also used by different industries. ZBrush is mainly used for artists, so different type of industries, but all related to art. So it's easier to learn ZBrush than other 3D software, in my opinion. So I'm going to start defining the shapes that I modified. So I have something a little bit more defined, more with more details, without investing too much time in modifying it. I mean, the shape that I already had, I believe it was already working, but I'm liking more this type of skull. It's funny, I already had the head in the last stream, and I'm coming back. I'm going to modify everything. It's not like starting from scratch, but it's really easy to actually change all this inside ZBrush. So this part is actually like an like a human mouth. I'm gonna keep that. Just adding a little bit more details. Since I already have like most of the head already designed and sculpted, it's easier just to start adding details. I want to try with the maybe a little less dark eyes. Yeah. So it looks, yep, a little more creepy. Since it actually has some type of human traits, maybe doing like the eyes a little bit wider and more white will help to make it look a little more aggressive and hostile. Well, for this model, I at the beginning I had like a lot of references from insects and different type of creatures since I didn't knew what I was doing. I was just improvising. Um, right now, I don't have any blueprints or references, although I actually should have. It's always use it's I'm sorry, it's always useful to have any type of references. I mean, I always try to have at least some images in the next monitor on the next screen with some maybe some pictures of anatomy or from different animals or even some actual artwork from other artists that I find super inspiring. So it's okay with the questions. It's always nice to have someone like asking questions. What I'm actually thinking right now is it's since it's actually like a mix between an insect and a dragon. Maybe the idea of looking for references like the game Diablo. It's not bad idea. Since this is going to be like it's nose drills. I want all this part to look like very hard surface, but like some type of shell like the ones the Zergs have. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to try to divide this part into several parts, like um, like for example the shell of a tortoise that's segmented into different like patterns. So that always helps to have like different type of references. Especially what I like is, for example, if I'm doing a creature and I'm thinking maybe it's like a zombie type of creature, it's always nice to have some references that are not related to what I to what you are actually sculpting. For example, doing a zombie and having references of different mushrooms or different tree bark. It might come in handy. Like you might use it to have like different ideas, and maybe you will be able to experiment by having this type of non-related references next to you. Because if you're doing, for example, a zombie, and all the references that you have are zombie related, your design is going to be like well, not that original, unless you already have like a super amazing idea in mind, and you're just using the references for anatomy and stuff like that. Yeah, that's right, Nisumi. Less creepy. For someone who's like walking by and seeing what you have on your screen, it's gonna be like easier to explain why you have like rotten mushrooms instead of a dead human. Or like when you have like different anatomy references, and someone came passes by, and they might actually think that you are some type of perverted guy. Actually, for references, what I do is, at least for anatomy, I open Sketchfab. On Sketchfab, you actually have like a lot of 3D models that people do, especially like anatomy studies. That way, you are able to rotate the model and see all the muscles and all the bones in different angles. It's way easier than having just an image. I suppose that's really hard to explain. Like people, you feel how people are trying to understand what you're doing without judging you, but that's impossible. I mean, they will judge you. So it's really hard to explain something like that. At least it was like um, male fit and not something a little more explicit. So I really like this idea from how the model was before to now. The idea of having this type of creature head, something that I'm really liking. That's horrible because they don't actually give you the chance to to explain. So it's better to work with the door closed. Like, so that's what you call working? And are you guys working on something right now while I'm sculpting? I usually do that. I tend to be in like as many ZBrush streams as possible because I actually like a lot of. instead of hearing music while I work, I prefer to hearing like people talk. I'm a big fan of streams. I'm sorry, of podcast. So being in the stream while I'm working, super super. I love that step. That how to say it. I love doing that. I find it more appealing that working while listening to music, at least for me. Now I get why you actually stay all night working. Oh, awesome. Good luck. If you have like any doubt, and I'm able to help because to be honest, I'm not like an expert, but I will try to do my best. I actually started in ZBrush with a mouse. It's really hard, but super fun. I mean, starting 3D with ZBrush, I I started first using 3ds Max. So when I started using ZBrush, I was like having a lot of fun, even though I was using a mouse. Oh, really? I actually enjoy a lot of audiobooks while I work. The last audiobook that I listened to was the Harry Potter ones. I listened to the whole saga while working. I wasn't like a big Harry Potter fan before that. To be honest, I haven't. I read like the first book and I wasn't really into it when I was a kid. But after I listened like all the audiobooks, I'm now in love with the saga. Yeah, it happens exactly the same to me. I mean, I might be able to listen like a couple of songs, but after that I'm like fed up with the music. Even though I like it, I'm like unable to concentrate while listening to music. On contrary, listening to someone talk, I might not be able to pay attention to everything that they are saying, but I find it more easier to concentrate while listening to people talk than music. Plus, you're able to learn a lot of stuff, especially in some type of podcasts that are like science related and stuff like that. So, learning while working, it's win-win situation. Yeah, with some books, it's really hard to actually follow the audiobook while working. Unless I'm doing like something like super boring. I don't know. For example, UVs, or maybe playing with a shader and rendering and trying to set up some lighting, then I'm able to play like some type of music or something a little bit more distracting. Yeah, yeah, that's the issue with streams. I mean, there's always the chat, right? at least for me, I mean, I've been doing with this is like my seventh or maybe sixth stream, and I'm loving this, like interacting with people while I'm working. The other streams that I've been doing with the guys from Pixelogic, it they've been in like in Spanish, but the idea of the stream it's actually to have like creature design between all the people in the chat and me, so they will start like dropping um, animals or monsters or maybe like a theme or a movie, and I'll try to fit all that into a design. And so far, the designs that have resulted of those streams have been like really really nice. For example, the idea you guys actually gave me for the body of this character, I was going to do like a biped or maybe a quadruped, but this idea of having like like a body of a caterpillar is way way better than mine. So thank you, Alton. You don't have any issues while reading in Kindle, like with the lightning, because sometimes while I try to read in my tablet, I know it's not the same, but the light of the tablet is like really making my eyes really tired. So I try not to read that much in tablet, but maybe with the Kindle it's way different. Yeah, exactly. For trade topologizing, it's something that's really like very well. You don't have to concentrate that much, at least for certain parts. For example, while doing I don't know maybe a leg or an arm, that the topology doesn't change that much between many models. Oh, really? I had no idea. I think I'm gonna give it a try to the Kindle. As you said, like having all your books in that magic box really really useful, especially when you are traveling. Yeah, a slimmer Jabba the Hutt. I mean, I was having the idea of maybe going to add a primitive just to remember doing this, maybe later. But maybe having like a gas tank or some type of liquid behind, like for breathing. I don't know, because actually it doesn't fit with the wings, and this part is really thin. But well, that's Jose's part, so I won't be modifying that right now. I actually I'm going to try that because I do have a couple of books on my tablet, and I haven't been able to read them. Yeah, this part is way too slim, but right now, since Jose and I have already chosen what to modify and what not, this part is from Jose, so I might actually ask him if he wants to do this part a little bit more wide. And I'm going to keep modifying the head. I like that it has like this demon vibe. A little bit like the demon from Doom, maybe. Actually, let me look for references. Um, insect, will it be good to search? Bizarre insects. I actually really like this color. Like an orange mixed with a red. I mean, with a black. It's gonna be really interesting. Hey Ashley, how are you? Are you ready to? Are you ready for your trip to Mexico? So I think I'm going to do a little bit more of a hard surfacey part right here on the top of the tail. Since this part is going to be like really soft and squishy, it's logic to have some type of protection over the tail. And I still want to modify this part. Jose already did like some awesome work right here for the hard surface, so I want to also have some details. But I'm going to keep working on the head. Oh, awesome. Well, I hope you enjoy your trip. I bet it's going to be awesome that event. Um, yeah, I'm going to keep this part. I was actually thinking maybe removing like this, I don't know, neck part of the head, but I think I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, to be honest, I also wanted to go, but work won't let me. I mean, I believe in airplane is like 2 hours from Mexico City, so it's not that far away. But yeah, it's not really close. But it's also awesome that this type of events are also in different parts of Mexico because I know a lot of people that also complain that everything in Mexico it's in Mexico City, so it's also awesome. Yeah, bloody work. Who needs to work? I think for this part, I'm actually going to load the one I already have like separated, so I don't have to work with all the stuff on top of it. Let me look for it. So, yep, here it is. Well, it's not that far away. Thanks. Actually, that part, like the pincers, was made from Jose. Like uh, we are actually dividing this character into several streams, and Jose is doing. Oh, he actually already did the arms and the lower part of the torso and the lower part of the head. I mean the jaw. So I'm doing like the upper part and the upper part of the torso, and I was supposed to do the legs, but I'm cheating and doing like a Jabba hot body. Well, I guess I'm going to start using booleans for this. Otherwise, it's going to be looking really boring. Oh, before I'm going to say, because I have a lot of bad luck with my ZBrush files while working. Nah, then it's not cheating, it's being smart. I'm pretty sure Jose is going to be like, really, dude? After I already invested so much time in the arms, you just decided to do like the body of a slug. Um, Let me find the file. It wasn't like Ralph McQuarrie. I'm not sure. I'm just guessing, but it might be right. He designed like a lot of Star Wars characters and environments and ships. Like He basically designed almost all Star Wars. I hope you have a lot of like second dinners in Monterrey, and you try cabrito and stuff like that. It's really really good. If I were closer to Monterrey, I actually just visit the city just for the food. Oh really? I had no idea. It's super cool design. Makes sense. See, I bet he actually did also the like the puppet costume thing. Makes sense that he actually designed like the creature. So I'm just sorry, subdividing like different parts of the armor to have enough resolution to do like some boolean stuff. Leave these things in the back are not going to be useful right now. Yeah, for sure. I'm always up for something amazing. Oh, this part is horrible. Didn't actually didn't work in this part. So well, damn. Well, I'm going to fix it with booleans. I don't care. It will live on forever and ever. I no longer recognize myself. What have I become? It's fine. Yeah, but this is working a little bit more. It's not perfect, but since this part I guess won't be able. Yeah, it's been covered, so I'm not sure why I'm working on it anyway. Let me see what actually it's going to be visible. I'm going to do a meme of the before and after this stream. Let me change the material for something more interesting, like red wax. The almighty red wax. Hmm. So I'm going to merge all these into a single subtool, which I'm going. Oh man, well, I was going to change this part, but I'm guessing this is actually not visible in the mesh. Well, with the head and all that, yep, it's not visible. So I won't mind. Red wax is the way. Oops. Enough silliness. Enough is enough. Well, to be honest, I don't think I'm going to do it because I'm being a little bit lazy. All I did was like a zero mesh and then subdivided. Maybe I'm going to talk to Jose because at the end, if he wants to have like a ready for production model, then I guess yes, we'll have we well, I guess I hope we'll have to retopologize it. But otherwise, no, I don't think we'll need to. I believe it just having like the model done is good enough, at least for me. But right now I have no idea what I'm doing. One of the cool things that I love from Booleans that you can actually improvise, and it's non-destructive, so if you don't like it, just remove it and that's it. It's good as new. Just looking for cool patterns, or meshes to add. Yeah, I guess I'm going to play with this shape a lot. I think it fits with the style I'm working with. Really? It's just an excuse. If everything goes good, you say like, yeah, I had no idea what I'm doing. If everything goes like south and looks horrible, you can actually say like, hey, you see, I told you. I had no idea what I was doing. It's not my fault. I warned you. Did my best, but my best wasn't enough. It's my way of protecting myself in case my modeling skills aren't good enough. Jesus takes my brush. I usually improvise completely on the at least in the Spanish streams. I just ask like people like, for example, what animals do you want to mix? That way I don't have to actually prepare a stream before. I'm like super lazy and let people actually tell me what to model. So it's easier. And if at the end something appears to be horrible, it's the people's fault, not mine. It was their idea and it sucked. I did my best, but I can't do miracles. But so far, the ideas that people have come up with, like for the second stream, it was like a crab, a crustacean human guy mixed with a dog, and it was really fun to do. So it's easier to improvise. Let me see the link. Oh, I haven't seen the movie. Actually, I seen the reboot, like the series they've done for Netflix, but like the original movie from Robert, I haven't seen it. That's horrible. It's easier just to puke things and let the brush flow. At least it's more fun. Puking all over the ZBrush live stream. Nice, nice, nice. I actually thought like the keyword is puke. I know. I have to see that movie. The reboot wasn't that bad. I mean, it was fun, but I haven't heard like real fans what they actually thought of the reboot. Um, well, I'm going to use like the brushes from the train. That always saves my ass when I'm doing hard surface. The choo-choo brushes. Oh, I'm totally into that creature. Like there was like a monster, like an enemy in what's the name of this game of zombies? The game from Valve, from Left 4 Dead. Like this fat guy that always puked over everyone. It was super annoying. Yep, choo choo brushes to the rescue. Oh yeah, sure, boomer. Man, my memory failed me already. Well, to be honest, that's the only scene I have seen from the movie. In my defense, I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen that scene. Think I'll just start like adding screws to the hard surface. That's like in case that everything fails, even if the choo-choo brushes failed, adding screws always helps. Oops. Glad to hear it. Yeah, I believe it works like this. Yep. That's the secret for hard surfaces. Just add screws. Pretend everything is like screwed together. That's a brilliant idea. But sadly, I'm not able to work with the whole torso since Jose did that part of the torso. But I'm going to ask him, like, advise him to do like the whole screw torso. That's perfect. Perfection at its finest. Sí, se trabó un rato. Más bien era mi internet. Pero pues, esperemos que ya esté mejor. Quién sabe qué onda con esto. She knows the way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I will ask you. Oh, I'll tell him. I will advise him to remove the arms and actually put some screws instead of arms. Just a friendly advice. Pretty sure he's going to love the idea. The secret here is he already hates me, so there won't be a lot of difference. He hates me because I use red wax. See what I told you? Adding screws everywhere makes everything looks a little bit more hard surfacey. That brush is perfection. In case that any any of the other brushes, or my, right, in case all of the other brushes are failing to me, the dog brush is like the emergency brush that fixes everything. I have to try one. I have to try that brush in a stream, like creating a creature made only of dog heads. It's going to be like totally a piece worthy of my portfolio. Best option ever. For Dynamage, I usually start with the 32 sphere, 32 resolution sphere. However, sometimes I actually go a little bit lower. I love start like sculpting with like a very low resolution Dynamesh, like between 32 and 80 tops. Sometimes a little bit less. Oh, I would love to see that. Sounds like a like a recipe for success. I bet even the guys from Pixelogic are going to be like amazed with the results. They're gonna be like, "What? We didn't knew like this software was able to do this type of stuff." That's too easy. The only material better than red wax, it's the normals. Where is it? Yeah, this is the best way to sculpt. This is the difference between a professional sculptor and an amateur one when you decide to sculpt in normals. But I'm not ready yet. Because modeling with with hands is way too mainstream. It's for losers. It's for little babies that want everything easy in their lives. For the final reveal. That would be like an amazing challenge. Like I bet everything like coming out of that challenge would appear like in the trending of ArtStation and Pix and in 3D artist everywhere. I would pay for a tutorial like that. It's because 3 is the magic number. Three is the exact number of times you have to actually drop your children for them to be creative. Amen. This stream is full of knowledge and wisdom. It's full of puke. Puking wisdom all over the stream. It's because I actually have no idea what I'm doing. I've been like trying all the brushes that I can find to add details because damn. How dare you to call this environment hostile? After all we've done? How dare you? Oh, don't you mess with the Harry Potter audiobook. You've gone too far. You can critique my modeling skills, but the Harry Potter audiobook? Mm-mm, not on my watch. Fight. You are outnumbered. See you, Ashley. Thanks for coming by and sharing all your wisdom. I feel more wise now. Haven't been able to find all the brushes that I wanted. Damn. It was meant to die anyway, so was it worth it? Um, Once you actually choose any of the IMM brushes, for example, the Choo Choo Train brush, where is it? Well, I'm going to choose like this one, the IMM tune. The all the brushes that include like that are inside this like IMM will appear up here. So it's like automatic. Oh, it's really sad to hear that it wasn't worth it. But I guess that's life. The few time that you actually have left. I'm going to do the lazy part of just adding a lot of stuff in the back. Plus it actually works. I mean, it doesn't look that bad. Could be worse. Well, I'm not certified doctor, but my bet is not much time. You better invest that time working in ZBrush. That's the only solution I see. I mean, who wants to have a life when you can actually have ZBrush, right? It's way more fun. That would be a lovely scene to watch. That's art. You could actually do an installation like that, you know, and present your scene to a modern art museum. I think I'm done with this piece. I already puked a lot of stuff over it, and to be honest, I have no idea what I've done. I applied all my cheat codes of adding screws and pieces with choo-choo brushes, and it doesn't look that bad, I believe. I hope so. Oh yeah. You don't want to take this conversation into modern art. I hate that stuff. Those guys, I hate them so much. Like, you don't get it. Yeah, I do. So I'm going to save this in case when I actually do the Boolean stuff, the computer crashes. Well, not the computer, ZBrush. And oof, finger crossed. Yep, everything was perfect. Now I'm going to add this to the other model. Let me see. There you go. And I'm going to start removing the old ones. Off you go. Yep. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Where is this one? Up, yep. This one is mine. Yep. Oops, there's another one here. done. It doesn't look like perfect, but I believe it works. What I'm going to do is just add a couple of other details. These IMMs? No. I'm just stealing them from the ZBrush brushes. I've done a couple of them. However, for the streams I prefer to use the original ones. So it doesn't look more like cheating. But it's really easy to create IMMs, so should be doing more of them. And for this part, I think I'm going to start creating the base mesh. So it doesn't look like super lazy from my part doing this part. Like this wormtail. Yeah, I think I'm going to add a little bit more resolution to this. Otherwise I won't be able to work. Just a little bit. I need to download a better soundtrack for these streams. Still looking for some free music. and I think it is way too much resolution. I try to keep this as low poly as possible. It's easier to work that way. Yep, that's it. Now I think I'm going to replicate this part that he already did, like the same style. So it looks a little bit more into the same design. Otherwise it's going to be like different parts mixed together. We're gonna be look a little bit creepy. Crappy. Not creepy, crappy. I was thinking in doing this part like hard surface. However, I believe it works more to be like some type of organic stuff. No, I'm not digging into design. I think I might actually do this part hard surface also. Hmm. I think I'm going to create that part and I'm gonna call it done, at least for now. Yeah, I think this works better than the other thing that had like spheres on the back. This is by far more interesting. And I'm going to save this one. And I think I'm going to append this to the other model. Hmm. Yeah, I like it. The only thing I'm going to do is just add some more Boolean details. And I'm gonna call it done. Yeah, it's just gonna be a placeholder mainly. Hey, Dublik, how are you doing? So, I'm pretty sure I'm going next stream to modify a lot of stuff from this part. But so far it's working. I mean, the main idea is to have like this hard surface part also here. And it's just, for me, it's just working perfect. So I'm going to save this just in case. Make Boolean mesh. Okay. Hey, thank you. It was really nice having you here in the stream. Have a good night. Hope to see you soon. And the other thing I'm going to do is just add a couple of maybe a cable going right here. So I think I'm going to call it done for tonight. I mean, there's still plenty of stuff to work, especially all this part, but I'm gonna save it for next stream. Um, Jose still has to work this month on his part of the model. I'm pretty sure he's going to be doing some awesome work on the design. I mean, so far I think we've been able to to create something together that doesn't feel completely different. It's been really fun. Mm, when I finish this part, but I don't think I have the time to finish it. So I think I'm going to leave it right now as it is. Modify it later. Yep. So thanks to everyone who came by and who was in the chat, in the random chat from tonight. It's been really, really fun. As always, this is the way to contact me. Like, here it is. Um, I'm in social media as Heretic Templar, almost anywhere, everywhere. And thanks to everyone who's been here in the chat. It's been amazing. I was able to change some of the design because of you guys and all your feedback. And I'm really liking this creature. It's been really nice. So thank you to everyone. Have a good night. Sorry for all the technology, um, technical issues we had at the beginning. So good night.